Hello friends, welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about a filmmaking genius and one of my favorites, Gurudutt. He was born Gurudutt Shivshankar Padukone, originally from Mangalore. His family moved to Kolkata because his father got a job there. This was a move that would influence Gurudutt for the rest of his life. He fell in love with Bengal and all things Bengali, and this remained with him, and it influenced a lot of his movie making as well. He was never very academically inclined, always into the arts, dance, acting, the craft of theatre, and so on. And he ended up winning a 5-year scholarship to Uday Shankar's Performing Center in Almora. This was a fantastic move for Gurudutt. He ended up learning so much over there. He was very much in sync with Uday Shankar and his style of teaching. He learned the art of theatre. He learned how to direct. There were movies also made at the center. He learned the art of filmmaking and directing. He learned how to dance, to direct dance, choreograph dance, and so much more. And most importantly, he also learned how to think out of the box, stylistically and creatively. In the early 40s, the center lost its funding and they had to shut down. Gurudutt was left without a job. By this time, his family had moved to Bombay. His uncle, B.B. Benegal, who was an artist, introduced him to Babu Rao Pai, who was chief executive of Prabhat Studios in Pune. Gurudutt moved to Pune when he got a 3-year contract as a dance director. And at the same time, Dev Anand also got a contract with Prabhat Studios as a lead actor. The two became very fast friends and were joined by Rahman Khan. And these three people had a very close, very, very meaningful friendship that lasted a lifetime. Gurudutt and Dev Anand had an agreement. Whichever one of them succeeded would give the other a break. Dev Anand became popular very, very quickly. He was a handsome young man. He acted well. He had great screen presence. And he rose to A-level, A-grade film hero very quickly. He and his brother, Chetan Saab, together started Navketan Enterprises in the, I think, late 40s, early 50s. The first production to come out of that was Afsana, directed by Chetan Saab himself. But the second movie was Bazi in 1951. Dev Saab, true to his word, offered Gurudutt to be the director for this movie. It was a very key career move. Gurudutt was at that point assistant director to Gyan Mukherjee. He came over. The story of Bazi was nothing unusual. It was pretty much a formulaic Bollywood movie. But what the audience got to see was Gurudutt's amazing, sensitive, very, very creative way of filming a movie. A director is actually so important. When you see well-directed movies, you realize that only later. And he also co-wrote the script for the screenplay for this movie with Balraj Sahani. These two artists had a lot of stylistic and artistic differences, and this ended up in a lot of bitterness, and the two of them never worked again, which was a pity, I think. I would have loved to have seen Balraj Sahani being directed by Gurudutt. Wow. Anyway, this movie was a treat from a directorial point of view for the audience. It was a big hit. It was a fun movie, had all the requisite masala needed for the successful Bollywood movie. But Gurudutt at this point proved that movies, the songs within the movies, could be made to be jewels within themselves. He was absolute master of picturizing songs. He knew how to set the tone, he knew how to light the whole scene, he knew what kind of angles to shoot in to bring out the essence of feeling for that song, the lyrics. He paid attention to everything. And this movie, the songs are worth watching and listening. Music is by S.D. Burman. Lyrics by the matchless Sahir Saab. And this particular song that I want to share with you, it's very unusual in that it is a ghazal. But the music is very un-ghazal-like. It is westernized and sung so divinely by Geeta Roy. She was Roy then, before she married Gurudutt. And Geeta Bali, of course, is just enchanting in the movie. It's picturized on her, and she was just, as usual, gorgeous. Tadbir se bigdi hui takdeer bana le. I hope you like this.
तकदीर से बिगड़ी हुई तकदीर बना ले, तकदीर बना ले, अपने पे भरोसा है तो ये दाव लगा ले, लगा ले, दाव लगा ले। तकदीर से बिगड़ी हुई तकदीर बना ले, तकदीर बना ले, अपने पे भरोसा है तो ये दाव लगा ले, लगा ले, दाव लगा ले। निगाहों से भला क्यों, निगाहों से भला क्यों, डरता है ज़माने की निगाहों से भला क्यों, निगाहों से भला क्यों। इंसाफ तेरे साथ है, इल्जाम उठा ले, इल्जाम उठा ले, अपने पे भरोसा है तो ये दाव लगा ले, लगा ले, दाव लगा ले।
Jal, released in 1952, received very good critical success. It was okay at the box office. Dev Saab, Geeta Bali again in the lead, and it's a very interesting story. It's set in a fishing village, mainly a Christian fishing village, and probably Goanese. And the difference is that Gurudutt Saab did not make these fisher folk the usual happy-go-lucky drunkard types that Bollywood loves to portray Goan fishermen as. In this, they're all hardworking, God-fearing kind of people. Maria, that is Geeta Bali's character, she's a very devout girl. She is a hard worker, and she falls in love with the extremely unsuitable Tony. That's Devanand's character. It's a character with, I would say, almost throughout the entire movie, a negative character. So for a hero, he was very successful at the time. For a hero to take on a completely negative role, a very unlikable role essentially, was a testament to their friendship. He went with Gurudutt Saab's vision for this story and decided to do this role, and he gave it his all. He's extremely convincing as the charming, really bad Tony. Tony uses his charm and good looks to, basically get these young women to do his bidding. He has them smuggling things in and out of the country. When they get caught, he basically abandons them. He uses them for his purpose, and that's pretty much it. Maria is warned by many people, and yet, contrary to common sense, she falls in love with him and is betrayed. But in the end, Gurudutt has picturized that final scene very beautifully. The hero does ultimately, reform. Love does conquer all, but this is conveyed with great sensitivity and subtlety. The music, of course, this is a Gurudutt movie, fantastic picturizations of songs. And you have S.D. Burman and Sahir Saab again getting together for musical gold. The songs in this movie it's hard to pick, any one song. Kishore Kumar's duet with Geeta Dutt, De Bhi Chuke Hum Dil Nazarana Dil Ka. Oh my God, such a good song. Kishore Kumar is so good in it, and it's picturized beautifully. And there are other songs too, but the one I'm sharing with you is a song that has been maybe overplayed on Indian cinema, on Indian radio. It is Hemant Kumar's Ye Raat Ye Chandni Fir Kahan. It's basically a love call. There are two versions of this song in the movie. One is a solo, sung only by Hemant Kumar, picturized on Devanand. And the second one is a duet with Lata ji also singing in it. What I would like to share with you is the first one, the solo. It has been overheard, it's been played to death. Yet, if you really, really listen to this song and you watch the picturization, you will get what this song is trying to tell you. It is such an alluring song. Sahir Saab loved nature and he used a lot of it in his poetry with great effect. And when you watch Gurudutt filming this, he has used nature to maximum effect to get what he wanted out of the song. And Maria is trying to resist this love call from Tony. And yet, in the end, both nature and she cannot resist him. And they end up giving in to Tony. Ye raat ye chandni fir kahan, sun ja dil ki dastan.
ये रात ये चांदनी फिर कहाँ सुन जा दिल की दास्तां ये रात ये चांदनी फिर कहाँ सुन जा दिल की दास्तां पेड़ों की शाखों पे सोई सोई चांदनी पेड़ों की शाखों पे तेरे ख्यालों में खोई खोई चांदनी और थोड़ी देर में थक के लौट जाएगी रात ये बहार की फिर कभी न आएगी दो एक पल और है ये समा सुन जा दिल की दास्तां.
Aar-Paar, released in 1953, was one of Gurudutt's own productions. He started a film company, Gurudutt Productions, and then I think he renamed it Gurudutt Films or something like that. Anyway, this movie starred him and the very vivacious Shyama. It was a usual love story, girl meets boy, falls in love, parental objections, hero rescues heroine, and la 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 la, and so on and so forth. But it's a Gurudutt film. So he elevates the banal to sublime just through his film techniques, his cinematography, his screenplay and dialogues, and his music. The screenplay was written by Abrar Alvi and Nabendu Ghosh. The dialogues were purely Abrar Saab. He actually brought a very realistic touch to Hindi film dialogues. Until then, for the most part, dialogues were very stilted and kind of theatrical. So the dialogues in this movie are just superb. And the music, no-brainer that it would be a hit. O.P. Nayyar's lilting tunes, Majroo Sultanpuri's fabulous lyrics. This song that I'm going to share is picturized on Shakila in the movie, sung by the velvet voice of Geeta Dutt. It's so interesting. She is basically in this large room filled with cardboard boxes. A very uninspiring location for a song. Not for Gurudutt, however. He has managed to use those boxes to create light and shadow, and she is sort of draping herself over these boxes and falling over them and all kinds of things. It just makes for such an interesting portrayal of this song. Hoon abhi main jawan ai dil.
अभी मैं जवां ऐ दिल हूँ अभी मैं जवान, बेहोश हूँ बिनती कल का भी हम किस लिए, बेहोश हूँ बिनती कल का भी हम किस लिए, हूँ अभी मैं जवान ऐ दिल, हूँ अभी मैं, हूँ अभी मैं, हूँ अभी मैं जवान। ये नगमा और ये फिजा, ये साज और ये सदा, ये नगमा और ये फिजा, ये साज और ये सदा, जो है गनीमत है आजकल कौन जाने हो क्या, जो है गनीमत है आजकल कौन जाने हो क्या, हो न हो ये समा ऐ दिल, हूँ अभी मैं, हूँ अभी मैं, हूँ अभी मैं जवान।
Mr. and Mrs. 55, another very, very entertaining movie produced by Gurudutt, starring himself and the oh so divine Madhubala. Rom-com all the way. And the music, of course, is absolutely fabulous. Open Ayer Majroo Saab again. And Abrar Alvi's dialogues are so good. So good. And Madhubala, she's not just a treat for the eyes. She is so good in this role. She's this ditzy yet quite savvy heiress, Anita. She plays it with such style and panache. Oh my God, heartbreakingly gorgeous. And you have the very militantly feminist Lalita Pawar as the aunt. And Johnny Walker, very charming as usual in his funny role, yet supportive role as the friend who always saves Gurudutt's bacon. The songs, of course, are fantastic, being Gurudutt Saab's movie after all. And each song, he has used, various little props to such great effect. Saris drying on a line in Chal Diye Banda Nawaz, and the swimming pool for Thandi Hawa Kali Ghata, and an office with desks for the song that I'm going to share. जाने कहाँ मेरा जिगर गया जी, अभी अभी यही था किधर गया जी. Johnny Walker and the gorgeous Vinita Bhatt with the oh so adorable dimples are the two people in this song. And it's such an entertaining song. I hope you guys take the time off to watch this if you've never seen this.
जाने कहाँ मेरा जिगर गया जी, अभी अभी यहीं था किधर गया जी,
किसी की यादों में मर गया जी, बड़ी बड़ी अखियों से डर गया जी,
अरे जाने कहाँ मेरा जिगर गया जी, अभी अभी यहीं था किधर गया जी,
किसी की यादों में मर गया जी, बड़ी बड़ी अखियों से डर गया जी.
कहीं मारे डर के चूहा तो नहीं हो गया, कहीं मारे डर के चूहा तो नहीं हो गया, कोने कोने देखा न जाने कहाँ खो गया, कोने कोने देखा न जाने कहाँ खो गया.
यहाँ उसे लाए काहे को बिना काम रे, जल्दी जल्दी ढूंढो के होने लगी शाम रे, यहाँ उसे लाए काहे को बिना काम रे, जल्दी जल्दी ढूंढो के होने लगी शाम रे.
जाने कहाँ मेरा जिगर गया जी, अभी अभी यहीं था किधर गया जी,
किसी की यादों में मर गया जी, बड़ी बड़ी अखियों से डर गया जी.
I know you may have noticed that I have not mentioned Gurudutt's magnum opus, Pyasa, or his autobiographical Kagaz Ke Phool, or Chaudhary Ka Chand, many other great Gurudutt movies as yet in this episode. I will be back with more on all of those and other movies of his as well. But for today, that's it. I will be back in 2 weeks with, can you believe it, the anniversary episode of Movies and Melodies. I can't believe it's been a year. So, anyway, until then, remember, music is food for the soul. Keep listening.